Hello and welcome to the Out of the Office podcast, where we do a deeper dive into the lives of the people we meet on our web series. Hello and welcome to Out of the Office episode 1. It's our first time and thank you for joining us. In today's episode we have someone called Angela. So if you'd like to say hello, Angela.
Hello, hi everyone.
And can you tell us a little bit about what you do?
So, welcome to Pirate Escape, everyone. So, for those of you who've never heard of escape rooms before, we actually, as a family, own and run an escape room. It's a great fun activity to do with any age group.
And just before we start, I would say it's lovely talking to you because here's some little out of the office trivia for everyone for our first episode. Pirate Escapes was actually my first ever job, so it's lovely seeing you again. It's been maybe 4 or 5 years now.
For a while, yeah, things changed a little bit here from the last time you were here. We've got more games now. It's getting bigger every day.
Well, I'm excited to hear about it. So our first question is, because you kind of touched on how it's a family business, but I want to know, how did you kind of decide to set up an escape rooms and what landed you in the role that you have?
Right, very interesting. So I'll try and make it short because it's rather a long story. So my husband and I have 3 sons, all grown up now. We had some family come and stay from Australia a few years ago, and the sons were about the same age as ours, looking for something to do, and came across an escape room in Newcastle. So they all went off, played it, had a great time, came back absolutely full of this game, how amazing it was, but how they could make it better, they could add theme into it, etc. So this went on for a few weeks till eventually they came up with the idea, maybe we could actually do this. So me and my husband said, right, okay, that sounds like a good idea. Go away, come up with a business plan. So that's exactly what they did. Came up with a feasible business plan. And then we started looking around for spaces. None of us had any experience in the business before. So it was a big learning curve, a big learning curve.
Okay, so our next question is, what is the most popular type of room? And obviously, your guys' name is Pirate Escapes. Could you touch on a bit more about the themes you have going on?
So the theme came about really because of the position of the building. So we're based in Whitley Bay, so next to the sea. My sons will kill me for saying this, but growing up, they absolutely loved pirates. Every party had to be pirate themed. So we thought, well, if we love that so much, other people will love it as well. So we've stuck with that theme, and it's amazing where that theme has taken us. So we've kept our whole business revolved around pirates. So every game touches on a slightly different element. So originally we had a game called Pirate Island, and then we had Blackbeard's ship. So all our games are sort of related to pirates. However, our newest game that we've just finished, and we're really excited because no one has played it yet until we reopen. And we have gone out on a limb and we've built space pirates.
Oh my, an Out of the Office exclusive, guys.
Yeah.
I love that. Oh, we'll have to come down and play it.
Yeah, definitely. It's the biggest game we've built yet. Very electronic, but it looks amazing. I can't wait for someone to try it.
That's it. Season 2, we're there. Okay, so you kind of touched on the fact that there is a lot of electronics involved and things like that, but can you give us any insight into what happens behind the scenes for an escape room?
So, to begin with, we had no idea what we were doing, except we all seemed to fall into our different roles over time. So, for example, I love the theming and I love the people. You never know who's going to come in your door, and I just love that. So I sort of fell into buying things. So I'd go around the car booths and find all the things to pick up. And then my sons developed their roles. Like one of them's really creative and loves developing the games. Him and his girlfriend are really good at coming up with ideas for the games. My oldest son's more like a business head on him. So he does all the finance and deals with all of that. And my youngest son is the technical person. He does absolutely everything computer-wise for us. So he does all the cabling, the sound. We've got projectors in each game so we can give people clues and help along the way. And we've gone all out with my new game, lighting, everything. And it's all down to him that. So over the time, we've been open about 4.5 years now. And over that time, we sort of developed our own roles in the business. And now my husband and I, we both don't do anything else now. So we're open all day, every day now. So we can't wait to get started again and do that. So the business is moving forward all the time.
Exciting stuff. So this is a bit of a cheeky question, but I want to know: do you purposefully make it difficult for some groups to escape?
No, yeah, well, the games aren't easy, as you know. And every time we build one, we seem to build it a little bit harder. But what we do, we can actually make it a little bit easier in the respect we can give a few more hints or clues. We can't make the game any harder. The game is what it is. And whoever comes in any ability, all it means for us is we want everyone to enjoy it at whatever level they want to play. Because we do get the players that come back time and time again, wanting to be the best time ever. And they're really focused people. And then we get families that may have never stepped into an escape room before and are a bit nervous, a bit unsure of what to do. And we just support them a bit more with a bit more clues, a little bit more interaction along the way. Jolly them along a bit. Oh, you're doing amazing. Just have a look in here and you might find something. So that kind of thing. But games are hard. I'll not pretend they're not.
Well, from personal experience, I will say that my favourite groups ever that came in were like hen parties who did not know where they were and things like that. So what are your favourite groups? Is it families? Is it friends? Is it the kind of the adults who come out of the pub?
Friday night groups are always interesting. Friday nights, for some reason, everyone's been out and maybe had a couple of drinks and they come along and that can lead to some fun. I've had teams where they've hung their jackets up and then they've gone back and searched their jackets for clues. Like, I don't know what that's about. But to be honest, I love everybody coming, as long as everyone enjoys it. That's my aim, is everyone comes and enjoys the games to whatever level they want to play. And I'll absolutely love to see people coming out with a smile on their face, and really anybody. I just love everyone coming in and enjoying it.
Okay, so that kind of, you touched on it a bit there, but I'd like to know, is there any other funny stories that you have from working at the escape room?
Oh, loads. What can I say? So many now. There's some great ones. So we had just a couple, and a group of rugby players came. Great big strapping men came. So we give them the rules, nothing above head height, that kind of thing, because we thought, oh, they're going to just wreck this game, pull everything apart. But they were really into it. They really enjoyed it, except there was one part of the game we used to have, it's not there anymore, a big, heavy iron gate in part of the game. And you had to find a code to be able to unlock it and get through the gate. But they got to that point and they were really stuck. We'd give them a few hints and they were getting so excited because they knew they were near the end. And then they just physically picked the gate up off its hinges. It took two of them. It was humongous, this gate. physically lifted it up and put it to one side. The downside of that was it took 4 of us to actually put it back on the hinges at the end of it. So that was a good one. The other one that sticks in my mind, and I absolutely love it, was we actually had a proposal in one of our games, and that was great. The guy rang us up to say he would like to propose to his girlfriend in the game. So I was well into that. It was amazing. So I spoke to him and I said, right, if you can get the ring to us, we will lock it in the final chest. And obviously we put champagne and things in as well for them. And when they came, it was so good. He was so nervous. They were so lovely. They were so excited to play the game. And when they got to the end and he proposed and everything, we managed to get a screenshot for them as well at the end. So they were absolutely thrilled. And later on, I actually saw them at a fair, because sometimes we go and promote at fairs and things, and they'd actually get married and things since. So it was lovely. It was really good. That I loved that.
Oh, I love that. That's adorable. I feel like if I was there, though, I would completely ruin the surprise by accident. So I'm glad
I was as nervous as he was.
Yeah.
I thought, oh no, what if I say the wrong thing or it doesn't work? Or if she says no. But you didn't.
Okay, so going into some more questions here. Have you ever forgotten to reset the room correctly before the next group? Has there been any mishaps within resetting?
Occasionally, things do happen if you're really busy, and they might come across maybe a box where the lock hasn't completely clicked shut or something like that. It doesn't happen very often, I must say. We're really lucky like that. It can occasionally happen. Most people don't even notice, to be honest. Some might come out and say, oh, that box was open. I'll say, oh, sorry, rookie error or something. It doesn't seem to bother people if something little like that goes wrong. They're either totally oblivious of it and it's only probably us that would notice, or it just means maybe they've missed a game out. They've maybe missed one of the clues out, which isn't a problem either. But luckily, to be honest, we don't have a lot of that. Occasionally we'll have a lock that jams. That can be a little bit of an issue. We have some really good bolt cutters, which everyone finds hilarious if I have to use them and go in and just cut the lock off and then replace it. So that took some time when we set up to find the right locks, because at first there was a lot getting broken until we found some good ones that are really good and reliable.
See, it was at this point in the question, I was like, right, she's going to say yes, a lot of things go wrong.
No, not really. That's honest. It's not loads go wrong, to be honest. It's pretty good. And any little things that go wrong, we can always work around them. If something doesn't come on the way it should, we've always got backup, so we can give a clue or show a picture if something didn't work. But we've learned that really quickly. You need to have backups for everything. So you need to be able to go in and replace a puzzle, because people will, not meaning to break something, but they'll see a lead or a cable, or we'll have a little tug of that and pull it out or something by accident. So you have to be prepared for going into a room to reset it, to be able to look around if there's any problems and deal with it quickly. So yeah, the answer is that always have backups of everything.
See, part of me wanted you to say no, because I'm more than comfortable telling you this story now that I've not been there for a good while. But I remember working once and it was just me on the desk. And I'd reset completely, and I think it was one of the first times I'd reset by myself. And it was the break in the downstairs game, when that was the downstairs game. and I had locked everything except the final box, the final treasure chest. And I remember trying to figure out, while this family was going through, finding a particular moment where I could sneak in and lock it without them noticing me being there. It was nightmare.
The good thing about that game was that the final chest was inside a cupboard.
Yeah.
So really, it didn't really matter because they couldn't get to it early. So that was
I was like, move on so I can get to it. Go to the other rooms so I can get to it. Like rushing them through the first room so I could just get in and fix it.
Yeah. Well, we don't have as much as that now. We're getting a bit more professional
now that I'm gone.
I wasn't going to say that.
See, I'm being attacked already. First episode and they're coming for me. But we're now going to move on to some user questions. So these are some of the questions that some of our viewers have submitted. So we've got 2 of them for you. So this is from Charlotte, and she wants to know, do people have breakdowns when they can't get out?
We do get people getting a bit excited and a bit stressed and a bit running around the room aimlessly at that point, panicking when we count down. We do have that occasionally, but we cope with that as well as everything else, and we keep pointing them in the right direction. You're nearly there. Have a look at this, match this with this. That might help you get out, and try and keep people calm, because if they get too excited and worked up about it, they can't see the obvious. So yeah, it's part of our job to just steer them in the right direction. Definitely, that can happen.
Our next question comes from Scott, and he wants to know, who is the group who had the quickest time, and what was that time?
So that question's great, and everyone asks who was the fastest team to ever play your games. And that's an easy answer for me. So we have 2 girls that have supported us right from the beginning, who are YouTubers and love escape rooms. In fact, one of them has designed an escape room for Red Bull. So they're very good. So they came to the Northeast and played as many games in the Northeast as they possibly could. Smashed everyone's time. Except they did have a tricky time in our game called the Brig, and they did get out in time. They got out in 55 minutes, which was good, but they were very frustrated at themselves because they said it was a very tricky game and they really struggled in it, and they loved that fact, because they found that there was no games that they struggled with anymore. They just went through them so fast. An example of that was one of our other games they played upstairs, and that was done in 36 minutes, which was amazing.
Was the game, like saying that it was the 2 women in the upstairs game. I think I ran that one with them.
Yeah.
And I remember Robert being there and him just panicking because it was like they've got out so quick, and I'm like, I didn't give them any clues.
I think the first time they came, they didn't give us any clue that they had played a game before. So for us, when someone gets out so fast, we think, what have we done wrong? Because you think, oh, that shouldn't happen. But when they came out, they started to explain who they were and what they did. And it became very clear that they had played hundreds of games before. And since then, every time they come to Northeast, they come and visit us and play any new games we have. And they do find them challenging. That's why they come back time and time again, because not many games give them that challenge anymore. So we're quite proud of that fact that they do come back to us.
Okay, well, Angela, I just have one more question for you before we say our goodbyes. And here Out of the Office, I like to put our interviewees kind of on the spot a bit. And I'm aware that you guys were my first ever job, but the question we're getting to here is, will you hire me?
Oh, any day.
1 out of 1, we got it.
Anytime.
Well, thank you very much for being on the show. It's been lovely catching up with you.
Yeah, you too.
I feel like although I was there, I've learned so much more about the world of escape rooms and working in one and creating one. So thank you very much
Brilliant.
for joining us.
You're more than welcome, and I hope I'll see your team back soon for our new game.
We'll come play the Space Pirates.
Definitely. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Well, that was today's episode of the Out of the Office podcast. Thank you so much for listening. And if you'd like to, we would really appreciate a like and a comment down below. And while you're down there, the subscribe button is like really close by, so you may as well click that as well. A big thank you to all of the interviewees for getting involved. It really does help to make this show happen. Now, if you would like to submit yourself for a future episode, or even just submit a question for one of our future episodes, you can do so by commenting on any of our social media posts or submitting yourself via the website. Okay, bye!